cold, wet start for us this morning, but I'll show you when this pattern ends. It's a messy morning commute. The WRAL Storm Tracker is giving us a live look at the Beltline right now. Ken Smith will tell us about any trouble spots from the traffic center.
I literally lost a piece of me.
A family devastated after their 9-year-old daughter died due to flu complications. The mother's message to other families this flu season.
And a look at inflation, what this morning's new report is expected to reveal about the price of things we all need to pay for as President Trump announces new tariffs. As part of the many items we have on your plate this morning, it's 6 a.m. straight up. I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us part of your day.
And I'm Renee Chu. Once again, we have waves of rain moving through the morning. Sound familiar? It's a WRAL weather alert day, but with the twist in that this afternoon will actually hit 60 degrees. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center trying to give a little good news with, the not so great. It's kind of hard to face this another morning in a row with the rainy, chilly conditions, but it does look like we'll dry out this afternoon, and we definitely have sunshine on the way for tomorrow if we don't see any today. A couple of isolated showers popping up north of Goldsboro, north of the I-95 corridor. There is the potential for an isolated thunderstorm, especially in our southern counties. Nothing severe. Then here comes that rain. Earlier this morning, we dropped down to 32 in Roxborough, but we're back up to 34. So shouldn't be any frozen precipitation to have to worry about. Checking Futurecast, it's likely to be heaviest between now and 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, right when most people are out on the road. So just to take some extra time, put on that coat, grin and bear it because it's almost over. We're drier this afternoon. No rain for the evening commute, and there may be a few peaks of sunshine. But this morning, it is a WRAL weather alert day for rain, and look out for some ponding on the roads. Could be real messy out there. Here's a live look at Durham right now, and you can see the wet streets here. It is 34 in Roxborough, 35 in South Hill. The temperatures are in the low 40s in our southern counties. Hour by hour, we do climb into the low 50s at lunchtime. We'll see the chance of some sunshine later on this afternoon. We'll talk more about some sunshine for tomorrow coming up, Ken.
6:02, Elizabeth, a busy morning shaping up in the WRAL traffic center. Let's start with the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads. Kelsey Carver, photographer Mark Alexa, giving us a first-hand account of what you're seeing on I-40. Set the scene for us, Kelsey.
Hey, Ken, right now we're seeing that rain dissipate just a little bit. We'll give you a live look now at road conditions so you can take a look for yourself. But about 30 minutes ago, we were over in Durham, and there was really, really heavy rain there. So right now we are on 40 West in Raleigh. And as far as just what we've seen throughout the morning commute, it's been consistent throughout the morning. Just lots of rain, really wet roads. You're going to watch your speed. You're going to want to watch your speed, rather, this morning because this rain could impact your visibility when it gets heavy in some spots. But Ken, what else can you tell folks ahead of their morning drive?
Yeah, things are definitely picking up. And just give yourself some extra time to leave the house a little sooner than usual because we just got reports of a crash on Six Forks Road near the Beltline. We're not picking up any issues in terms of sensors in the area. We are following an overnight crash that brought down some power lines on Wade Avenue near Duplin Road. Take a look at these live pictures, courtesy of photographer Michael Joyner, showing us exactly what's going on there on Wade Avenue. You can see the Duke Energy crews are on the scene. This has affected more than 60 customers in that immediate Wade Avenue area. We're told that power could be out at least till 8 o'clock this morning. We'll keep an eye on that and definitely keep you posted. At one point, we're being told that Duke Energy might have to shut down both directions of Wade Avenue. But again, I will keep you posted. Of course, you can Chapel Hill Road is an alternate route in terms of getting east and west. The other situation we're following really quickly, it's over in the Briar Creek Parkway area. Here's what we're talking about. Raleigh police are on the scene of a situation there on Globe Road and Aviation Parkway. Power lines are down. I'm going to continue watching that here in the WRAL Traffic Center.
Ken, thanks. And make sure you have the WRAL News app with notifications turned on. We will alert you to changing weather conditions and traffic issues across the area.
Renee, I do want to bring our viewers here into the WRAL Live Center to kind of touch on what Ken was just mentioning there towards the end of his traffic report. So this is that situation in the Briar Creek area where there are power lines that are hanging down near Aviation Parkway and Globe Road. That is right about here. Now, this is coming from Raleigh Police saying that officers are there on the scene. Right now, they're making sure that traffic can make its way through, and Duke Energy crews have been requested to come to the area. But the thing is, in terms of what caused this, when you click the little button here, it says it's unknown at this time right now what specifically caused that. But I tell you what, here's what we're doing on our end of things at WRAL News. This is a live look through the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Eric Miller is on the way right now trying to figure out what happened here. As soon as he has more information, he'll report live with an update.
Chris, thanks for that. This morning, we'll get an important economic update, a snapshot, if you will. January's producer price index is due out at 8:30 this morning, and it measures the changes in costs that businesses have to pay to suppliers, which is then passed on to all of us because we have to buy the stuff. Now, yesterday, the consumer price index showed the cost of living hit 3% for the first time since June. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell told a congressional committee yesterday the central bank is committed to lowering interest rates, but it's not in a hurry to do so. He said the Fed is determined to reduce inflation to the 2% target in time. President Trump says today he will approve and sign reciprocal tariffs. He says they could affect almost every country. Trump says he wants the U.S. to effectively match the tariffs other nations are imposing on U.S. goods. Many economists worry, though, potential trade wars could amplify inflation even more.
This morning, we're waiting to learn who died after the Hardin County Sheriff's Office says a deputy shot him. It happened at a home in Lillington and shut down Neals Creek Road for several hours. The Sheriff's Office has not named the deputy who shot the man. The SBI says deputies responded to a 911 call at the home. They say a confrontation began, which led to the shooting. The SBI is helping in this investigation. That is standard procedure when a member of law enforcement fires a gun. The Sheriff's Office will release the names of those involved after they tell the families.
New this morning, about 75,000 federal employees have accepted the White House resignation offer. That is according to the Office of Personnel Management. Accepting the offer to resign means those workers will be paid through September. The offer deadline closed last night at 7 o'clock after a federal judge ruled to end a temporary hold to that program. We know mass firings of those who did not take the offer are now underway at federal agencies.
New numbers from the state show 2 children have died from the flu this season, including this 9-year-old girl in Randolph County. The other was in the eastern part of the state. Doctors say the death of Madeline Vernon is a tragedy, and they want others to be aware. The CDC says the flu is at the highest level it's been at since 2009, and we are now at the peak of flu season. Doctors say it is not too late to get the flu vaccine. Madeline's mother says the 9-year-old did not get her flu shot. She encourages everyone to hear her daughter's story and to get the vaccine.
I literally feel like my heart has been ripped in half. I literally lost a piece of me.
Because we are in peak flu season, hospitals and urgent cares are already flooded with patients. Doctors say people concerned about mild symptoms should make appointments with their physicians. If your symptoms worsen, visit an urgent care. Emergency rooms should be treated as the last resort.
Storms moved through Alabama overnight, leading to flooding on some major highways. Officials blocked off several flooded areas there to keep people from driving on them and getting on the roads. They are warning people just to stay off the roads.
A Person County commissioner is facing several charges, including domestic violence toward his wife. Tracy Ellickson is accused of pointing a gun at his wife and telling her he was going to kill her. According to court documents, he held her against her will. We asked the Person County manager if Ellickson was still on the Board of Commissioners, and they did not answer that question. They did say they were aware of the charges and they can't comment at this time. The State Bureau of Investigation is investigating.
A crash left a person trapped in an SUV in Wayne County. This was the scene right along Durham Lake Road yesterday. When rescue crews got there, they found that vehicle flipped over with a person trapped inside. The crews had to stabilize the vehicle before they could get to the driver. State Highway Patrol troopers helped direct traffic around the scene. It's unclear what led up to that crash.
Jeff, breaking news in the past 30 minutes or so. The Associated Press is reporting that Hamas says it will release the hostages as planned, the Israeli hostages as planned. There appears to be a resolution in the dispute they were having that Israel actually put the ceasefire in jeopardy, really, because they were not saying they were going to release just yet. But I do want to show you this image from the AP. You'll see these Palestinians walking past this massive pile of garbage that was burning. This was taken on Wednesday. 3 more Israeli hostages are expected to be freed Saturday, but no immediate comment from Israel after Hamas's announcement. We know that President Donald Trump gave his support for Israel to continue with attacks on the Gaza Strip if the hostages were not released. But seeing this, they're already dealing with while trying to return home after all that destruction, it's the last thing they need.
Chris, thanks. Tonight, you have the opportunity to share your recommendations for the future of Durham Parks. Durham Parks and Rec is creating a plan they hope recognizes the needs of the community. You can attend a public meeting tonight at the Durham Armory. It's happening from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Feel free to bring the kids. There will be childcare and refreshments there. You can park at the Durham Center parking garage, and staff will validate your parking. The time is 6:10. Banning pet breeders. The push from pet advocates to stop the retail sale of dogs and cats in Raleigh. Michelle.
And a military jet crashed into the San Diego Bay. We'll hear from passengers aboard a fishing boat that were the first to reach that plane. And yet another cold, wet start to the day. I'll show you a band of rain moving through and when it will be heaviest where you are.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, here we go again. It is wet and cold for your morning commute. It will really just last through the morning, and then we'll see the rain tapering off. But boy, we've got a lot to deal with this morning. It's turning a little bit heavier in some of our western counties. You can see the yellow shaded area there, and it's starting to press toward the I-95 corridor too. Around Rocky Mount and Wilson, you're going to run into some showers. The potential for an isolated thunderstorm, especially in our southern counties. Rain really starting to pick up now from Raleigh to Durham, up to Henderson, down toward Chapel Hill and into Chatham County. Our best chance for rain is now, and it tapers off by lunchtime. There might be a few holes in the clouds this afternoon, but if you're really looking for sunshine, hold on until tomorrow. Visibility has dropped a little bit in our southern counties, so you're going to run into some rain and some fog, seeing a bit of that in North Hills.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, Elizabeth. Rain coming down is courtesy of this live look of a traffic cam, I-540 and I-87. Traffic is definitely picking up, but flowing nicely in both directions. In terms of all the other major routes coming into the capital city, very little to no delays, just a couple of minutes coming in from Wake Forest. As for the Bull City, really similarly, very little to report in terms of delays. We've got some issues involving power lines and traffic issues on Wade Avenue, and as well as the Briar Creek area. Renee will have an update in a couple minutes.
It could be a very busy traffic morning given the conditions. Ken, thank you. Today marks 2 years since the mass shooting at Michigan State University. Now a former student who witnessed the tragedy is suing the school. The $50 million lawsuit claims the university ignored security concerns months before the attack. Former student Justin Bowman was in the classroom where the shooting began in 2023. The lawsuit claims he suffered emotional distress and trauma from witnessing the death of his classmates. 3 students were killed and 5 others were injured. Michigan State has not commented on the lawsuit.
Protesters who slammed a downtown Raleigh storefront as a puppy mill have a new goal now. They want city council to ban the retail sale of dogs and cats. Josh Baldwin is an organizer with NC Animal Advocates United, which picketed Petopia. The new proposal from the group is modeled on an ordinance passed in North Myrtle Beach in 2019. It bans the retail sale of dogs and cats, but provides exceptions for shelters and rescues with adoption fees. The group took its plea to City Council during the evening public comment session yesterday.
And yet we have some of these stores that make their money off of breeding new dogs that typically come from puppy mills and selling them for thousands and thousands of dollars to mostly people that don't understand like where they're getting their dogs from.
Baldwin admits his group will have a tough time getting an ordinance passed in Raleigh, in part because North Carolina municipalities are given very little leeway in these matters by the state legislature. Baldwin says in the meantime, NC Animal Advocates United plans to continue pressing the city to take action any way they can.
A military fighter jet carrying 2 service members on board crashed into the San Diego Bay yesterday. Thankfully, both pilots were able to walk away. Michelle McConaughey is here now with that incredible video.
Yeah, Renee, it's shocking. The pilots ejected before the plane crashed into the water, and this is the video of the plane going down. Take a look at this. This was caught on surveillance video. You see it just nosedive right into the bay. The Coast Guard says the 2 were in the water for only a minute before a crew in a fishing boat picked them up. The Premier had just set out for its daily fishing tour when passengers noticed the jet. Passengers on that fishing boat say the crew wasted no time reaching the pilots. They're glad everybody's okay.
I feel like if we would have left the dock a couple minutes sooner, we could have been right under it. It could have been on us. So I do feel pretty blessed that we made it out of there and we all can walk away and tell the story.
Both service members were conscious when they were pulled out of the water. The extent of their injuries was not disclosed, but the military said their condition was stable. There's no word yet on what caused that crash.
Wake County leaders want to hear from you about housing through an online survey. Tell county leaders about your experience with housing access, barriers to safe and affordable housing in your community, and fair housing protections. Feedback will be used to help the county set housing goals for the next 5 years. The online survey closes Saturday.
Imagine if we had a survey asking people, hey, are you ready for some warmer temperatures? Would you like to see some sunshine? I think it would be unanimous, Elizabeth. But first, we have to get through another rainy, dreary morning.
We do. It's a WRAL weather alert day. That's why we don't do that. We don't do those surveys because I tell you what, people let me know no matter what. So weather alert day for morning rain, an isolated thunderstorm, but nothing severe. But the rain is going to be with us all morning long. We're looking at the possibility of a peak or 2 of sunshine this afternoon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're cloudy for the entire day in this particular pattern. But we should dry out nicely. It will be cold tonight and chilly tomorrow, but we should see a nice day of sunshine before we jump right back into it over the weekend with rain chances for both Saturday and Sunday. Here's where we are right now. Some of the heavier rain starting to push into our western counties from Orange County all the way down through Lee County and Moore County, including Chatham County, starting to see that rain picking up in intensity. So it is wet in Raleigh and Clayton, Fuquay-Varina, all the way up through Roxborough and Henderson, and just more of it to come. We've had a good bit of rain over the last 4 days in particular. Durham's seen about 1 1/4, and Raleigh just a little under an inch. Sanford about 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch in Roxborough, and a little under 1/2 inch there in Goldsboro. Those are radar estimates, so we may be seeing some different totals in some of the rain gauges, but we've definitely seen a good bit of rain. More of that to come, of course, with our cold front coming through around the middle of the morning. So rain out there, ponding on the roads, plan for extra time on your morning commute. But here's a look at the passage of the rain as we get through the day. Between 6 and 8 o'clock, between now and 8 is when it's likely to be heaviest. An isolated storm from, say, Fayetteville to Clinton. By lunchtime, it's over, but notice the clouds really hanging around during the afternoon. Again, a peak of sunshine is possible. Mid-30s in the north, low to mid-40s in the south, but we are above freezing everywhere, fortunately, but barely. It is cold and wet as we look at downtown Durham. 40 degrees right now, so that temperature has bumped up a degree or so in the last hour. Becoming windy this afternoon. Gusts 15 to 20 miles per hour out of the north eventually, but we could top out at 60 in Raleigh, 59 in Durham, and 63 in Fayetteville. Watching our next round of rain potentially as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, it's a 60% chance, and Sunday, a 90% chance. So be ready for that. Get out and enjoy Valentine's as it does stay dry. I'll have a forecast for you for Valentine's evening coming up. Monday looks dry and chilly, and of course, like we say, I think people are tired of this, but we needed the rain actually.
Oh, and Valentine's Day will be a gift.
It will.
Thanks a lot, Elizabeth. Hey, let's get right out to the WRAL storm tracker because of all the rain that we're having. Kelsey Coffey, photographer, Mark Alexa giving us a first-hand account of I-40 closer to Durham this morning. You can see the windshield wipers wipers going. We can't stress enough. Just leave the house a little sooner than usual so you won't have to rush. You can take your time in these wet conditions right here because it's going to be a while. And as Elizabeth just mentioned, we got another round coming in. Let's get back to our live traffic sensors this morning because we've got a couple of issues that we're dealing with involving power lines and traffic. Let's start with right here in the overnight hours. There's a crash on Wade Avenue near Duplin Road. Here's what it looks like. Photographer Michael Jordan giving us these live pictures. You can see Duke Energy crews working this area. Even there's a situation that we're seeing. We'll keep an eye on that and let you know what's going on right there on Wade Avenue.
Thanks, Ken. Limiting medical coverage. A new bill would limit what insurance companies have to pay for. What this means for people already living paycheck to paycheck.
And a mall explosion in Taiwan. The new video this morning of the debris after a department store exploded.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
The Backstreet Boys are back.
And they are headed to Sin City as well. Ken Smith here now with What's Trending, Ken.
Oh, I can hear all the hit songs in my head already.
Yeah.
The iconic boy band announcing a residency at the Sphere in Vegas to celebrate the 25th anniversary of their hit album Millennium. Into Millennium will play 9 dates in July. The pre-sale starts tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, they'll be playing I Want It That Way, Larger Than Life, all the goodies. I can't believe it's been 25 years.
They're going to
Since the millennium.
get a good
It is
little run there. 8
2025,
shows, right?
Yeah.
Iconic place, too.
A lot of people will be poised, ready to hit that button tomorrow for those pre-sale tickets. And hey, we're getting a first look of the new How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake. Universal Pictures releasing the full trailer after a teaser aired during Sunday's Super Bowl. The movie premieres June 13th.
Yeah, I saw it during the Super Bowl, and it looked very enticing. Looked pretty fierce, I'll tell you that. But the live-action version coming our way this summer should be good. Train your dragon, and you got to tame it a little bit.
There you go.
All right, Ken, thank you.
It's a wet, cold start for us this morning. You can see the rain moving into our area. I'll show you how it'll affect your drive this morning and when it finally moves out.
Also, WRAL Storm Tracker here giving us a look at the roads before you head out your door. We have a look at the traffic conditions straight ahead.